my Q50. I hope you find your dad. That's right, boys. She's sold. Local. I don't know if he's a high school kid. He's young. Father bought it for him. This might be the last time you see this thing. So, on this video, I'm going to be fixing the suspension on this car. Unfortunately, I think I got the wrong control arm. But wait, this is the control arm they sent me. It's heavy. For aluminum, this is extremely heavy. But the way it looks on here, and the way the dip is and stuff on here, the control arm on my car looks different than this. So I contacted the seller on eBay that I got this from, and he sent me pictures of the car it came off of. This actually came off a Nismo, a 2010 Nismo that has the Acapone brakes. So it should be the same. Visually, it's different, and I can see that already. But I think it's gonna work. So I need to get off here and take pictures, and I'm going to tell the guy if it's going to work or not. But, yeah, we need to get that off there. I got a new shock to put on, so we got to take the spring and everything off, transfer it to my new shock, put that on. We got a new sway bar links. I got 2 of them. I accidentally ordered 2 of them. One of them came, and I'm not really happy with. Look at this. Look at the damage on that. Scraped up. The other one, it's not like that. So these sway bar links are used on Infinitis, Nissans, like the G35s, the G37s, the M35s, M45s, the Q50s, Q60s, the Z. So yeah, these are used on a lot of different models. So these are pretty easy to come by. And then, you know, I said them top hats for those gauges, these gauges right here, were $120 just to buy that top hat to put on top of the gauge. So I looked and looked and looked. $120 is the common factor, just for that top hat, this piece on top. I got these gauges for $80, all of them. Now, given they came, and I didn't know this, but this one's broken off. Well, there it is. This one was broken, which all these are held on with is these little tabs here are melted onto another piece that clips on. So don't try to just rip these off whenever you go to take them off. I noticed this one was a little bit loose, and then I noticed it clips on, so the whole thing comes off, and then you can see how they're melted into that clip. So I ended up, this one was the only one that was solid and on there tight, and that was the one I needed. So it's in the car now. Got a brand new hand-cooked tire. This is exactly what's on it. The Ventus V12 Evo, whatever. I took all the stickers off of it. But yeah, the front tires are smaller than the back tires. These run on offset. I do have a rim coming, and it's off of a junkyard one, and it has slight marks on it, but it looked good. I don't know when it's getting here. The headlight, the guy just contacted me. He forgot to send it. It's on its way. I got a used headlight in really good condition for $400 after shipping and everything, $450. Also melted this crease in the bumper and minimized that to a very slight indent that I'm going to be able to putty work out. And I have actual bumper putty that I've never tried yet, so I'm going to try that. There is indent right there that's going to have to be sanded down with some putty. And then the rest of this should just sand out fine. Maybe a little mark right there. Regardless, this front lip I got did not fit for crap. I had to heat that thing and flex it and everything. So I've left it on the car now for a while. I can see it's still not fit up quite the best right here. So I might have to heat that up and move that again. But I'm painting this to match the car. I'm not leaving it bare, so it's going to be painted. The front bumper's getting repainted. And we're replacing this wing. I like the wing that I had on my last Z. The way these come down, it mounts identical to the way this one is. And then this one also has like paint coming off here. And there's another mark somewhere else. I got the one that comes out and then flips up. A forged carbon wing. And I got it for $300. So I'm like, what? There has to be something wrong with it. I don't know. But we'll see that when it gets here. This is the fender. We got the fender. We're going to test fit that today too with the suspension parts and stuff like that. Also, I got the Bose sub. The button. I already went back here and buttoned up this trunk area. Check her out. It's all buttoned up. This stereo stock sounds wonderful. Anyways, there it is. Spare tires in there. That's why I don't have it on right now. I just wanted to go ahead and put this all back together. This board's a little warped in here, so kind of has a little bit of flop to it. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's just how it's going to fit. I think over time with heat and stuff, that'll flatten out, but for now, it's fine. If you guys didn't see it in the last episode, I just knocked a bunch of boxes over. Anyways, as I was saying in the last episode, my Infiniti, it actually left yesterday, so very minimal carage in my driveway. It's just not the same. It's not the same. We need to get this thing in the driveway, like now. So that's what I'm going to do. Here, I'm guessing the next 2 weeks, I want to have this thing back on the road. So this episode, we're doing the suspension. I'm going to go over a product review with you, and just bear with me. It's a good product, and you're going to see it in the next couple episodes, okay? It's part of what we're doing here. So I would tell you, though, it is a good product, and it has surpassed the last code scanner that I have. So you guys remember I did this code scanner. It's the X-Tool D8. Now this thing, don't get me wrong, it's a very powerful scan tool. Lots of features. This is the one that has a flashlight built into the Bluetooth dongle. This is also a higher price item. I think this was around $800 some, $850, somewhere around there. Very nice, big screen, fast processor, thing works great and everything. But my Subaru, I cleared the transmission learning parameters and then went through the relearn process with this thing, and it fails every time. So just recently, Ancel reached out to me with this. This is the MK808TS. I hope I got that right. This is also a Bluetooth dongle scan tool. It's a little bit smaller screen than that one, a little bit slower processor, but this thing relearned my transmission first try, no problems. And now my light that was annoying on my dash for the last 2 weeks is out, and I haven't had a problem. So I will be going over that relearn procedure again, not this episode. This episode, I'm going to put this in the Z. I have not hooked a scanner up to this thing yet. I know there's no check engine lights, but we want to see what all airbag codes it sent. So we're going to hook this Ancel up, and we're going to see what comes up. So where that one kind of has like a generic case with just a sticker across it, this one actually comes with a dedicated case. The Ancel is like embossed out of the case. This case is very nice, very nicely done, lots of room. Charging cord, USB cord to plug in the VCI Bluetooth unit to the code scanner, because some things that you do to get the fastest live stream data, that it asks you to plug that cord in for better results, so it's faster. But this case holds this thing in very nice. In fact, it's hard to do with one hand here. So here's a unit. Like I said, it's a nice size. It's a little bit smaller than this one, but it has a dedicated spot on the back to hold the Bluetooth dongle. It has this metal bar back here, so you pull this out to prop it up, or that's also nice to clip it on your steering wheel, and it sits right on your steering wheel like that. I did just fully charge this unit and everything. Like I said, Android based. Unlock it. You can search the web on this thing. You can use Adobe Reader, check your emails and stuff like that. MaxiCom is the system that it uses. And here it is. It's a very simple setup. As you can see, there's your search bar if you want to search. Pretty responsive for what it is. You can remote to your desktop, which I do like remote desktop. I think that's pretty neat. There's a battery test you can do, but there's a different hookup for that. VCI is your Bluetooth dongle. But yeah, let's put this in the Nissan and see what comes up. So like I said, this thing holds us in really secure. You gotta slide it up out like that. Then I don't know where my port's at. All right, so we're plugged in. Get this unit up again. Like I said, clips on your steering wheel, pretty nice. For service features, I'm gonna go through those real quick. As you can see, a full set of service things on here. But as you can see, there's a bunch of special features here. Trans adaptation is what I used on the Subaru, and it worked no problem. But that's just some of the features on here. So let's go back and go into diagnostics and pull up Nissan. Oh, GTR. We're going to need that later. Psych. Someday, maybe. Someday. Now see, where the D8 is just a little bit quicker loading up. Like I said, this takes a couple more seconds to load up, but it's still not unbearable. But like I said, where it differs is that unit's a lot more money, and it failed to do things that this thing did. No problem. I'm going to go to automatic selection, and you can type your VIN in here, or all you have to do is hit read, and it'll automatically read the VIN and put it in there for you. And there it is. Hit OK. Now it's going to pull it up. There it is. 2009, North America. America! I'm just going to let this thing go ahead and scan everything in the car and see what's on it. Oh, there is a fault for the engine, and there's one for ABS. Which I figured there would be one for ABS because of the crash damage and stuff. BCM, airbag. What we're going to do is once this thing goes through everything, I'm going to look at some of the codes, but then I'm going to clear them, and then we're going to do a full scan one more time and see what comes back. So I'm going to do the quick erase right now, which is right here. And it's going to go through and clear all of these that are not detected as current. Alright, so the only things that came back was what I expected was the airbag codes, and then there's one HVAC code, and I'm just going to go in and see what that is real quick. And it's honestly exactly what I thought, because every Nissan and Infiniti I've had one HVAC code, and it's always the sun load sensor. So I don't know if that has something to do with something that the car has to run. I don't know. But that sun load sensor, I get that code with everyone. Every Nissan and every Infiniti I've had that sun load sensor code. So I don't care. It doesn't affect anything, so I'm not worried about that. So let's go into the airbag codes. All right, so as for airbag codes, you have frontal collision detection, side collision detected, driver airbag module circuit open, front right pretensioner, left front pretensioner, right side module circuit to ground, driver's airbag module, and right side curtain. So the right curtain is the side curtain. The driver's bag is obviously the driver's bag, and the right side module is the seat. Pre-tensioner, that's left and right, so they're a single stage because I'm only getting pre-tensioner, so there's no anchors. These are all gonna get reset, and then the driver's airbag module, that's just another code for the airbag side and the frontal. So we're gonna take care of these in the next episode. A little upset as this is not like a Z bag, but it is. I don't understand why it's different, or I don't know what models. This is the bag for this car, and I wanted a Z one, but this is what I got, so this is what we're dealing with. We have a lot bigger issues to worry about than a little Nissan badge. Also, I didn't show this much on my last one. In fact, I didn't show it at all because I stitched the seat up. But here's the seat airbag. 2 anchors on the back. They go on with nuts, and then this is in the seat, and then you stitch the seat back up. Saves you a lot of money by going this route. But anyways, if you want to get your hands on this Ancel unit, this thing is going on sale for Black Friday, and it's a very good sale. You're going to get over $100 off on this thing, putting this well below $300 less than that X tool that I did a review of before. And like I said, this thing did things that couldn't do. So if you want to get your hands on this, go down. There's going to be a link in the description to take you to Amazon. And if you want to get yourself a discount on this, there's a pre-Black Friday sale on November 15th through the 24th that will get you this unit for $558.13 altogether. But the discount code is going to be FDJR2UF6. And I'm going to put that up above the screen here, and it's also going to be down in the description below the video. And that's going to be the end of this review. Back to the video. Still got some body work doing the bumper. I just went through because that front lip kept falling off because I just had it sitting on there. So another thing, this front lip was a cheaper one. The mold, this thing sucked. It was so out of shape. I put screws in it to hold it, little black ones, and then of course that's where it was dented, so it pulled. So once I get this bumper off the car, I'll have to heat this and remold that, pull it out, and then I can heat this and reshape the front lip. But I went around and measured, made sure I was even on both sides and everything. I feel like it's going to be extremely low, that lip, but I don't know. I'm not completely sold on that. We might go with a different one down the road, but you know what I mean. It's mod life. We need to tear into this thing. I already had this semi apart. Lower control arm was detached. Thankfully, this little metal bracket here that's on this that holds the shock in place was still attached, and it broke across here. So this still held the control arm together, although it was very weak, and that kept this from the wheel and everything falling off and ripping off. And also for like all this damage that happened and stuff, like it deformed the side skirt, which I'm gonna have to heat and reshape. It didn't break this mount at all. Like all the hardware's still in it, the hardware here. I don't know how that ripped that out of the bumper and did not break this tab, but it somehow, I think they put the wrong hardware in there. I think that's why that didn't break off. Looks like there should have been a washer or something on there, and they used a bolt without a washer, which just pulled through, which saved my bumper in the long run. I want to get this fender off, because then that's going to give me a lot more room at everything in here. Also, I ordered new Z lights. I hammered on this a little bit so that the hood would shut right, and this lens fell off. So it must have just caught this lens in the accident, and it didn't totally break it, but it broke the top tab. So I hot glued that on right now. I wasn't happy with it. I can see the hot glue inside of it. So I ordered different ones that are completely black, but the Z lights up in. So we're going to be putting those on. Let's go ahead and get all this crash damage stuff off. These are just held in with clips that don't want to let go. Let's get all this stuff off of here, the headlight, the fender, and get the side skirt stuff off like that so we can see more what we're working with. will forever hate Nissan for their little janky clips on their like side skirts, their trim and stuff like that. Like you could have done better. These little mounts right here break off so easily. This one was already broke off from the accident, and these two broke off when I was taking it off because there's this, like, the most minimal amount of plastic that holds that on there that the clips will not even pull out of the car before they break. Now I know you're probably supposed to break it loose at the front and then pop them loose until you get back here and then slide it forward. I mean, there was nothing I could do. And honestly, I'm gonna look and price the side skirt, and I'm not opposed to just replacing it. I might do a little bit of body work right here. Just like right now, just bent that lip. What I was worried about when I was looking at all this is I've seen how much that fender was crunched in, and I thought it may have bent something right here. To my relief, nothing right here is bent. Everything's straight. Even the composite core support part, well, let me take that back. It cracked it right there. So I will reinforce that. I'm just going to get the hot stapler out, and I'm going to reinforce that with some hot staples. It needs to come out like this. Yeah, let's do that. Reinforce that. It broke it down here too. I can see it right behind the washer bottle there. But still, I'm not going to replace the core support just because of that wing being cracked. It's not broken completely. So, yes, I'm going to reinforce this and get that a little bit straighter. Right there is where the most of the damage is, and like I said, I'm going to end up doing more damage than good just trying to get that straightened out when that does not affect anything inside the car. So I'm going to leave that alone and not touch it, and it's going to be like that. I am going to straighten these fins out right here. The tire did come up and move these, and I'm just going to, honestly, the dead blow, hit this tab over and hit these over just so that pinch weld is back closer to where it was. There you go. Done. I also see that the tire has wore the paint off of that completely. It's down to bare metal, so I'm going to hit that with some self-etching primer. You know, you're not going to see the self-etching primer. It didn't even bend the side skirt tab or the fender tabs, I don't think. They look like they're pretty much straight. It did bend these top fender mounts, which are a lot stronger than the Subaru ones, but they can also be manipulated. I'm going to mess with those a little bit. So this hot staple gun, if you're curious about this, I bought this at vvor.com. I bought this myself, and it worked good, but that headlight is what sturdies this up completely. So I honestly probably didn't even need to do that, but at least I know that's not going to go any further than what it did. And then, like, if you like this, after I bought this, they reached out to me and sent me a really cool tool, which I have not had the pleasure of using yet, and I got to do a review on here soon. And it is this thing, and it's cool. I haven't got to use it yet, but it's cool. So stay tuned for that in the future. I did hit this with self-etching primer, the whole lip of that, since it was bare metal. It's just, you know, rust preventative kind of. But I've been talking about doing the suspension this whole episode, and here I am. Have not done it yet. So let's get into this suspension. The only downside of doing this on the floor right now is I can't get my impact under there to loosen the bolts. Breaking this ball joint loose. And it's kind of not like traditional. You know, normally your bottom ball joint, this faces up. But this is actually the way it goes. It goes down through the hub. So it's a little bit different. But I've already had this shock out of here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's pretty easy. Just get your ABS line out of the way over here. I didn't even tighten the brake line because I knew I was going to be coming back in here. Of course, it's kind of tight, so I need to get that. And that's just holds your brake line on. Get that down out. Now there's a couple bolts in this bracket, but this is the bolt that holds the shock in, so that's the only one we really need to take out. These can stay on. And also, that shock bolt is the sway bar link. That's the bolt that goes through the shock that holds it in. It's all tied together. Now these are different, don't get me wrong, but this one I got in the mail looks, it's beefier, it's strong, like it's thicker around here, and it's stronger in the places where it should be stronger. Weight difference, they feel about the same, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's definitely like thicker. It's thick. Boy, it's thick. Let me try to figure this out here. It's thicker right there, as you can see. It's the one, and mine is not only did I get it welded back together, but it's bent. This whole piece is curved in from how hard that thing hit, where this one's straight. So this is gonna fix the Ackerman on this thing, but yeah, that was a pain in the butt to get out. You know what? I think it'd be a lot easier on a lift. It'd be nice if I knew somebody who had a lift and... Oh. Darn it. My next 370Z, I'll definitely do this on the lift. My next? No. So I'm going to go grab a bite to eat. When I come back, I'm slapping all this in here. Let me look at a good look at the brake pads right now. Hell, they're like brand new. You can see right in through there. I can see plenty of pad. Both sides. That's pretty nice. These are, them rotors are thick. I need ran. I need to get this thing out. That's why there's rust on them. We need to get them out and run them. I'll be right back. Go time. That's looking much better. That looks like where it's supposed to be. Like the alignment's good. The only thing, what worried me was that whenever all this happened, you see all the bigger that top control arm is. My worry was that that bent. I don't think it did. And I think we're good. Everything looks great. Control arm, I mean, although that looks like that would have held for a long time. Look at that. The welds on that looks horrible. It didn't even do anything on this side. All my welds that held were the top and this front. Whatever. That got me in the garage. That was a gift right there. That is great. But like I said, even though that control arm looked a little different, it looked like it was all. He sent me a picture of the car it came off of. It was a Nismo. So maybe there's a difference from the Sport package to the Nismo. I highly doubt it. It might be a year difference. Since this is a 2009, they may have revised that to make it stronger. So I'm really not worried about it. That's what I'm rolling with. It's going to be fine. Everything bolts up. Everything fits good. And everything looks good. What I'm relieved about is like that even the steering arm didn't get bent. That little metal bracket is the only thing that saved everything on this. Well, this one. That's all that saved this thing. And you can see it had a lot of stress on it. It's bent. But that held the car together somewhat. So I don't have the headlight. I don't have my wheel. So there's really not much more I can do here. But I do have the fender. Thanks to a subscriber. My subscriber, Giacomo, he's godsend. He's like helped me in so many ways on different projects. The last Z, he bought me a fender. He bought me a fender on this one. And he bought the inner fender that was missing. So here's the rear inner fender. And the clips that go with it, he bought those. And a fender. And it's like, dude, you really don't have to. But, I mean, he is a very loyal subscriber. And I cannot thank him enough. Like, this helps out greatly. Here is the fender. And it's a brand new one, and it's in good shape. He ordered it from Rock Auto. I normally don't order my parts from Rock Auto because their shipping is outrageous, but they do come in really good shape. So let's go ahead and fit this thing up and see how everything fits, because I did bend them brackets back. They still look a little bent. So we might have to do a little bit of adjusting. We'll get it. I'm going to chalk that up as a win. That looks good. Now, I knew this door was bent in the front. Now that I have this fender lined up, I have it lined up top, and I have it lined up at the bottom. You can clearly see now the gap right there. So I need a mark. And I can visually see it, but from right here to right here, it looks like we need to come out, and you can see the crease where it's been at. We'll also dent it in right here very slightly. But yeah, if I can get that out to where it's level with this, we should be really close, really close. The only thing is, test fitting that fender is a pain in the butt, but we're going to have to do that probably multiple times till we get that where we want it. I want to get the metal lined up, and then we can do the putty work. No putty works needed here. There's no bends or nothing. That's just scraped. So we're on target. Everything's looking good. Only other thing I'm having a problem with is it looks like this piece got knocked out of place. It almost looks like it needs to go down a little bit. Our hood gap is not perfect, and I ended up bending the fender just a tad right here when I was trying to fit it. So I'm going to have to very slightly get that dent out. Very little bit of a dent there, but it bothers me. So I was trying to mess with that, get that adjusted and whatnot. But my problem is here, it's not the fender. There's another bolt there that the headlight's going to go into, and that's also going to adjust the fender too. So that's going to bring it down. I need to try to get that small dent out now and not mess with that. But that's all for another video. This is enough for today. I'm getting older. I want to go in and take a nap. Actually, it's night. It's late at night. I want to go to bed. So if you like this video, smash that like button. Consider subscribing.
Hit that dislike button if your mom's inner liners tore up. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Alright.
Stella jumped down off the counter and ran when I came in.
What were you doing on the counter? Hey, what were you doing?
Well, look at you. You doing tricks for me?
What were you doing on the counter? You weren't supposed to be up there. Say bye-bye.